You're sitting in your car, engine humming, staring at your banking app. Not because you forgot something, but because you're checking if the number looks fine. And it always does. Fine. Never great. Never life-changing. Just fine. Fine is the trap. Fine is the treadmill. Fine is the reason you'll spend 40 years trading hours for dollars while someone else, maybe even your coworker, quietly escapes. There's a moment in life where your investments start paying you more than your job. That's the crossover point. And it changes everything. It's not about being rich, it's about being free. Free from the boss's mood swings, free from the what if something comes up anxiety, free from the paycheck leash. That's the product we're chasing today, control. Think about it. Your employer's leverage over you isn't your job title, your performance reviews, or your years of service. Their leverage is your bank account balance. Specifically, whether you need next month's paycheck to cover next month's rent. That's it. That's the entire power structure of employment stripped down to its mechanism. The moment your portfolio could cover your life for months or years without a new deposit, the whole equation changes. You don't have to reach the crossover to feel this shift. You feel it when you have 6 months of expenses saved and you stop flinching every time the company announces a reorganization. You feel it when you have $200,000 invested and you realize you can negotiate your salary without your heart rate spiking. You feel it in the way you walk into a performance review differently when you've genuinely considered what you'd do if you walked out. That's the cause. That's the need. Not retirement. Not luxury. Control. Why you're lagging behind. Picture this. You get a raise. Not a lottery win, not a life-changing promotion, just a solid bump in pay. You celebrate quietly. Maybe you move to a slightly nicer apartment, one with a courtyard instead of a parking lot view. You trade in the old car for something with backup cameras because, hey, safety matters. You add a couple of streaming services because sharing passwords got complicated. Every single decision feels reasonable. None of them scream financial recklessness. But together, they build a lifestyle that now requires your entire salary to function. The raise didn't make you richer. It just raised your floor. That's lifestyle creep. And it's the silent reason you're lagging behind. Let's talk about subscriptions. Research shows the average American has 12 paid subscriptions but thinks they have 9. That's a 27% underestimation of their own spending. And that's just subscriptions, the most trackable category. Now add the apartment upgrade, the car payment, the dining out habit, the clothing budget that quietly expanded. You've built a perfect machine for turning income into lifestyle with no leftovers. It's not that you're undisciplined. It's that the entire consumer economy is precision engineered to consume exactly as much as you make. Every advertisement, every limited time offer, every car dealership payment plan is designed to make you feel like you can afford it. And technically, you can. But affordability isn't wealth. Affordability is the treadmill. Here's how it feels in real life. You check your bank account before buying coffee. You do rough math in the grocery store, then put something back anyway. Your car makes a noise you don't recognize, and your first thought isn't what is that, but how much is that? A coworker books a trip to Portugal, and you do the math on whether you could technically afford the flights. Technically. And then you decide you probably shouldn't, because what if something comes up? What if something comes up is the background operating system of financial stress. Now let's talk about taxes. Your salary gets hit with federal income tax up to 37% in the top brackets. Then FICA, Social Security, and Medicare, another 7.65% on top. By the time you're earning a reasonable middle-class salary, you're handing over 28 to 32 cents of every new dollar to various levels of government before you've bought a single thing. Investment income, on the other hand? Qualified dividends and long-term capital gains are taxed at 0%, 15%, or 20% depending on your total income. No FICA, no Social Security surcharge, no Medicare levy unless you're earning well into high-income territory. Here's what that looks like in practice. A married couple living on $100,000 in salary income pays roughly $11,500 in federal income taxes. That same couple living on $100,000 from qualified dividends and long-term capital gains? They pay zero on $100,000. Because the money came from owning things rather than doing things. The IRS taxes you at 22% for setting an alarm and going somewhere every morning, and 0% for owning shares while you sleep. That's not just unfair. That's the system telling you exactly who it rewards. And if you're stuck relying only on salary, you're on the wrong side of that equation. Why high income isn't enough. Here's the paradox. Even people earning $200,000 or $500,000 a year describe themselves as living paycheck to paycheck. Surveys confirm it. This isn't an income problem. It's a savings rate problem wearing an income problem's clothing. Take two people. A teacher saving 50% of a $55,000 salary reaches financial independence in roughly 17 years. A cardiovascular surgeon saving 10% of a $400,000 salary needs over 50 years. The surgeon earns almost 8 times more money and still loses. Why? Because the savings rate does two things simultaneously. It grows your portfolio faster and lowers the amount you need to be free. The teacher's target is $687,500. The surgeon's target is $9 million. The teacher wins because she played the right game. Every raise you've ever gotten felt like progress. But if you spend it all, it wasn't progress. It was Tuesday. The raise didn't make you richer. It just made your lifestyle more expensive. And that's why you're lagging behind. Lagging behind isn't just numbers. It's emotional. It's the low-grade anxiety that lives in your chest from the 25th of the month until the deposit clears. It's the credit card debt that snowballs from 3 bad weeks into 14 months of repayment. It's the feeling that you're always one unexpected expense away from disaster. That's the treadmill. That's why you're lagging behind. Now that we've exposed the traps, lifestyle creep, subscription blindness, paycheck anxiety, and the tax system, the question becomes, how do you conquer it? That's where we go next. Steps to conquer it. Alright, so we've talked about why you're stuck. Lifestyle creep, paycheck anxiety, taxes that punish work more than wealth, all of it. But here's the good news, there's a way out. And it's not complicated. It's math, discipline, and a little bit of patience. Think of this section as the GPS. You know where you are, you know where you want to go, financial independence, the crossover point. Now let's map the route. Step 1, audit lifestyle inflation. The first step is brutally simple, figure out where your raises went. Did you move to a nicer apartment? Upgrade the car? Add subscriptions? Start saying yes to restaurants you used to skip? None of those decisions were reckless. But together, they built a lifestyle that eats your entire salary. So the audit is this, go back through the last 3 raises you got. Write down exactly how your spending changed. That's the invisible money. That's the gap you need to reclaim. Step 2, increase your savings rate. This is the lever that actually moves the needle. Forget the latte jokes. Forget the skip avocado toast memes. The single variable that determines whether you ever reach the crossover isn't your income, it's your savings rate. Here's the math. Save 10% of your income financial independence in 51 years. Save 25% 32 years. Save 50% 17 years. Save 75% 7 years. That's not theory. That's math. And here's the paradox. The teacher saving 50% of a $55,000 salary beats the surgeon saving 10% of $400,000. Because savings rate does two things at once. Grows your portfolio faster and lowers the amount you need to be free. Step 3, automate investing. Once you've carved out the savings, automate it. Don't rely on willpower. Willpower is for gym memberships in January. Automation is for wealth. Max out your 401k if you have one. Contribute to an IRA. Dump the rest into a brokerage account. Stick with broad index funds. The S&P 500 has returned 10% annually over a century. Yes, it's crashed 30 to 50% multiple times. But people who stayed invested captured the recovery. People who sold in a panic missed it. Your portfolio can't do its job if you keep interrupting it. Step 4, stay invested through crashes. This one's psychological. The market will crash. It always does. And when it does, you'll feel the urge to sell. Don't. Think of it like planting a tree. You don't dig it up every time the weather changes. You let it grow. The people who stayed invested through the Great Depression, the dot-com implosion, the 2008 crisis, they captured the long-run returns. The people who sold locked in losses. Your portfolio is a machine. Don't unplug it when it's working hardest. Step 5, redefine freedom. Here's the mindset shift. Financial independence isn't retirement. It's control. It's walking into a performance review knowing you could walk out. It's negotiating a salary without your heart rate spiking. It's saying yes to opportunities because you want to, not because you need the paycheck. The crossover point isn't a finish line. It's a launch pad. Step 6, start now. This is the lever everyone knows, but almost nobody uses. Timing. If you invest $500 per month, beginning at 25, you'll have $1.3 million by 65. Start at 35 instead, same contribution, and you end up with $610,000. The 10-year delay cost you $700,000 despite only contributing $60,000 less. That's the violence of compounding. Every year you wait doesn't just add a year to the timeline. It removes a compounding year from the end, where the portfolio would have been doing the heaviest lifting. Start now. Not perfectly. Not with the ideal plan. Just start. Step 7. Build the emergency buffer. You don't have to reach full crossover to feel the shift. You feel it when you have 6 months of expenses saved. You feel it when you realize you can cover a car repair without panic. You feel it when you stop flinching every time the company announces a reorganization. That buffer is freedom in miniature. It's the first taste of control. Step 8. Play the long game. This isn't about getting rich quick. It's about getting free slowly. Compound interest is boring in the beginning. $5,000 invested at 7% returns generates $350 in a year. That feels pointless. But at $500,000, it's $35,000 a year. At $1 million, it's $70,000. That's a salary. That's freedom. The first $100,000 is the hardest. After that, the machine starts running itself. Transition to Section 4. So those are the steps. Audit lifestyle inflation. Increase savings rate. Automate investing. Stay invested through crashes. Redefine freedom. Start now. Build the buffer. Play the long game. But here's the twist. Everyone tells you to cut lattes. Everyone tells you to save 10%. Everyone tells you to start small. And while those things help, they don't get you there fast enough. The real shortcut? That's coming next.